Well, hey, and welcome to the Becoming Better podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and I'm so glad you're here. Well, on today's episode, Josh, Corey, and I sit down and we go through last Sunday's message. And in the beginning, we do talk about a little bit of the World Cup. So if you're not interested in that, you can go up to the 12-minute mark of this podcast and you can skip all our banter, but we keep it pretty light. So other than that, also want to let you know we had a power outage because of the monsoon season that's rolling in. So as we were recording this, it lost power and we weren't able to get to the question. So just want to encourage you, if you submitted a question this week, we will get to that next week in our show next week. So we hope you guys have a good week and we hope you enjoy this conversation. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
What's up, everybody? I'm not saying it.
Nope, so don't say it.
I'm not doing it.
I know we try not to get into sports.
We try not to, yeah.
But I'm going to do it.
So many of our listeners don't appreciate sports.
They don't.
I don't know if they... Well, yeah, I think that's what they've told us.
Yeah. So, but we're going to do it. It's the World Cup, and I'm not really a soccer guy. Corey, I know you're a soccer guy. And just been talking about World Cup stuff with you. And how do you guys feel about the World Cup right now? Like, are you guys about it? Are you guys not about it? Really, Josh, where do you sit with this?
I love the World Cup.
Do you?
I do. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So my question to you guys is, what other sports do you think we should do a World Cup for?
I mean, we kind of do with the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, right?
Yeah.
It's what we do for the Olympics. We do, like, I like the World Baseball Classic. Same thing,
Yep.
you know. We do the World Baseball Classic. Obviously, we do. There is no football besides us, so that's the only other sport, right? But basketball is the Olympics, you know. So, I'm really excited to cheer on. I'd have a lot. So if we did other sports, or we do other sports, at least we have a chance. I can cheer.
Yep.
You know, our opportunity to win a World Cup is just very limited based on our soccer ability.
Soccer and baseball.
After that first 45 minutes of playing this on Friday.
Yeah.
That was we are not going to win. Don't hear me saying that. It would be really crazy, but that was we've gone from not qualifying for the World Cup to playing. That was a really solid 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm all in. Like, I'm glad we're in. I just recognize that we're just not going to be, like, at the end holding the trophy. So it's fine. I mean, it's not fine. I don't want to do something just to lose. But like, the World Baseball Classic is kind of there. It's like iffy. It's like, you know. Yep. So what my favorite thing has been about the World Cup, though, so not sports related, is all of, like, the Europeans or other people who are coming to America and experiencing things for the very first time. Like, this one person experienced ranch dressing for the first time. Oh. One person went to Waffle House. They were in Georgia, so they went to Waffle House, and they were like, oh, this food was amazing. 10 out of 10. And I'm like, 10 out of 10, bro. What are we doing?
And a Waffle House.
It's great.
Yeah.
At like 2 a.m., of course, you know. But they're just talking about, too, they were in SoFi Stadium, and you know that stadium is crazy.
Yeah.
And they're just talking about how America does big events like that, sporting events. Not just big stadiums, but the entertainment and the speakers, all the stuff. So that part of it has been really interesting to watch other people's experience on social media with all things American.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
the one I saw was Europeans going to restaurants and getting free refills of soda. The guy's like, this is free? And it's like, yeah. It's like, can I have another one? It's like, yeah, I'll come back. And so he was like, how many do you think I can get before they kick me out? And they're like,
as many as you want, bro.
It costs like 3 cents. They don't care.
Yeah. They've already made $3.50 off you. Yeah. There's no way you can make it back.
Nope.
So it is just that part of, you know, some of those things that we just inherently take for granted.
Yeah.
People are coming over here experiencing. And again, you know, it's a really big deal of a World Cup and all that thing. But like, hopefully some of the, the stadiums, obviously they're not going to get built and then never used.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in some of these giant Olympic, which America's built to, like, that's the one thing we do. We do really big events and stadiums and sports, almost as if it's an idol in our country. Maybe.
Yeah.
But we do it really well, though. I will say that. We got a lot of stadiums. Like, we're not going to tear the stadium down or never use it or repurpose it.
Yeah. And they build these stadiums, too, going, hey, we're going to build it to the qualification. Like, we got to build a new stadium anyways. Yeah. Let's just build it to the qualifications to be able to host the Olympics or the World Cup. I know that was SoFi. Like, that was, he was like, we need to make it to where it's more than just the Rams Stadium, but it's going to be.
Well, it's also really interesting is like the Giants so the World Cup has to have grass.
Yeah.
So which has been a huge topic of debate, but there's grass in there right now for the World Cup. I'm like, why can't we just put grass in there all the time? Instead of this turf that's tearing up NFL news needs. But sorry, we're going to get down a whole rabbit hole there, and I know nobody wants to talk about it. Yeah. But it is really interesting. Again, just the traveling back and forth, the things that people are just blown away by.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't think ranch dressing would ever take I'm like, whoa, ranch dressing.
Yeah.
But I was talking to somebody this week. Who was I talking to about this? And they said they'd never been to a Waffle House. Oh, it was one of our listeners to the podcast, Judge Mike. So we were talking about it because he's going to Tennessee. And I was like, it was Friday night at our men's night, which was a blast. So he was mentioning, I've never been to a Waffle House. And I'm like, oh. I was like, I don't know if the food's actually good because I only eat it late at night and end up with heartburn. But I don't think it's because of the food.
No.
It could be, though. But it's also like I get chili and, hash browns with onions and cheese.
True.
It feels like terrible
at
2 a.m. on a road trip. It just feels like a not good thing to do. I don't think I've ever eaten at a Waffle House in the morning, like in the breakfast hours.
No. I feel like...
And if I pull up and my chef ain't out in the parking lot smoking, I don't want to go. I need him like smoking a cig.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, fellas, I'll be in a minute. I'm like, yes. Yeah. Come make me some eggs and some chili.
Yeah.
I've been once in my life, one time.
What time?
And it was in Dallas.
Okay.
The food was fine. The company was horrible. I was stuck with Ken May for a campus pastor conference back when I was at the PD campus. But it was that exact thing. We got in from our flight. I think it was like 11:30. We got in and went, all right, we need some food. So I don't know. I don't understand the hype around it. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying that.
It's just the light on the hill.
I guess,
at 11 o'clock at night, like,
bro,
I need to eat something.
11, that's early.
Yep.
Again, man, it's just
late
one of
for Ken.
It is just one of those all night places that you can, so they paved the key in the parking lot. So when they build a Waffle House, they open it up, then they pave the key in the parking lot. It never locks. It's always open.
That's
never closes.
So cool.
Yeah. So it's one of those places you can always go to.
Yeah.
Like at all times, go eat. But yeah, it's just, there's some experiences at Waffle House. You could look that up too on social media. There's always something crazy going on at Waffle House. Sure. Let these Europeans slide into the wrong one, like in Florida. It's going to be a party. let them experience. But yeah, man, I'm all in for the USA sports.
Yeah.
I like it when we do well.
Yeah.
It is. I am always talking about soccer on this podcast. I'm not the one. I need everybody who's not a big soccer fan on the podcast to know I am not the one advocating for more soccer talk here. But we always seem to talk about soccer when I'm here.
It feels right.
Yeah.
When you're here.
I don't dislike it. I enjoy it. I watched, who did I watch yesterday? Or Saturday? Oh, I was watching Haiti. Haiti and, who did Haiti play?
Scotland.
So I'm watching that match, right? I'm all in. I'm like, man, let's see what happens, right?
Yep.
My family was like, which one is Haiti? And I was like, the one with all the dark colored players. Like, if we're just looking at Scotland and
sure.
And Scotland, I was like, I don't think they. And I was like, oh, do they have a guy who looked mixed because he had like a beard like Nate, red, he had beard, freckles, and I was like, hey, bro, what's up, man? Through hands. But I was like, they were like, which one is Haiti? I went, the ones who have darker skin to live in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Scotland usually the redheaded white guys.
Yeah.
So it is cool to see like some of these countries who are, I was thinking about that, like, Haiti obviously is super poor. Like, how do they train? Like our guys train. They have like the best training facilities, their diet, all those things. I'm like, man, how do you do that in a country that is a third world country?
Yeah.
Like Haiti still is incredibly poor, even in their richest parts of their country. So I bet they don't train there. If I was just betting, I bet they train somewhere else, right?
I found out Korea came to Utah like a month before this started, and they were training high elevation in Utah.
That makes sense.
So they were there for a couple weeks, and then they went down to Mexico to do their first.
Dude, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Mexico's high elevation, and it's hot, and it's crazy.
Yep.
Though that soccer arena is bananas.
Yeah.
Those people are. They did say no European countries ever won in the Americas.
Oh, really?
Heat. The heat is just too hot.
Yeah.
They can't handle it.
Which is so funny because they have water breaks now.
Is that?
It's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. Thank you. Yeah, that's not you don't see that when you're watching other soccer typically. But I don't know. Maybe it's a whole lot hotter here. Too hot for some of these European countries.
Hot and humid.
So, yeah. It is ridiculous. And they should just stop the clock when there's a water break.
But don't get it going, bro. I just, trying to talk about other things.
Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, just, some of these things are super interesting. When you just think through what kind of goes on, to make these events happen.
Yeah.
I'd love to go. It'd be cool to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't care who's playing. It would be really cool to experience that. But
yeah. Just the fandom of it is just nuts.
Way bigger than we.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. All right, that's what I was talking to Judge McGill was talking about. They were in Ireland, one of the World Cups. He said it was bananas,
cool.
dude.
Sure.
He said it was crazy. Like he goes, when they scored a goal, it was like the little town they were in is like, rah, just going crazy. It does seem to unite us in a great way. That's why I love the Olympics, and like everybody's down for USA basketball, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? All of us, even if you're kind of casual, like you want to watch Steph do that to France. Like you want to see that happen. And so it does have a great way. Sports does have a great way to kind of, at least on this stage, to kind of unite us a little bit.
Yep.
When everything else seems to like pull us apart, it does have a good unifying factor.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome. Let's jump in. It's been 11 minutes.
You did it, people.
Yep. So this last weekend, Ken May wrapped up chapter 6 for us. And it was a good morning to be in community with worship. And so Josh, you were hosting here in Prescott. So what stuck out to you?
Yeah, I haven't hosted in probably, it's been like 8 weeks because I was teaching that new believers class. So I haven't been on the platform. I think I preached once in May maybe, but I haven't been on a platform in a while. So I was number one, I wasn't feeling great this weekend. Number two, I was just like, man, I forget how exhausted I am after, you kind of expend all that energy, kind of putting out. So, but overall I thought it was a great weekend. One of the things we talked about this morning was, Ken used a lot of stories of people who have made it, who've done the things, and the storm came. He shared a few stories that he knew of people who didn't do the thing, the storm came, and they kind of, their life fell apart.
Yeah.
It was just cool and then he shared the one story about the family who hadn't done the thing, the storm came, and they went, oh my goodness, we're in a storm, what do we do? Oh, this is kind of familiar. And what I love is, and he highlighted it, he just said, off a friend's invitation to church, just a reminder for everybody listening. It's like 80% of people will come to church if you invite them.
Yeah.
It's a crazy statistic because they're friends with you and they'll at least come once.
Yeah.
Now they may not stay, they may not, but again, one time could change their life. That's what it sounds like happened with this. Like it changed her life that she went, I got to come back the next time.
Yeah.
And just keep coming. Right. So just this, don't lose the power of the invitation.
Yeah.
Like when we talk about that at Christmas and Easter and all the time, your opportunity to invite somebody that God is doing something in their life and they can hear something and it changes, man, just really cool. But anyway, so Ken shared all those stories and we talked about, man, most of those people are here this weekend. And we know who those stories are just because of our interaction, and we're amazed. Like, when we did our sermon run through, I was like, man, Ken, I can think of 10 people off the top of my head who literally the storm came and they're still here and still serving and still faithful, That's what we need to hear. That's what I consistently need to hear as someone whose family did not grow up in church. That is the hope that you can do this thing and then this thing can happen and you can still follow Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I think all I've ever heard, or what is shared more often, is the opposite. You grow up in church, the thing happens, you walk away. That's what's so much more prevalent. Not the 3 guys who lose their wives and they're still in the church and they're still trying to be dads and still trying to, some of them are retired and some of them are working. You know what I mean? They're still trying to do these things and serve the bride.
Yeah.
Those are stories that don't get, it's this guy blew his life up and walked away from the faith. That's what we hear so much more. So and we don't share stories a lot, typically when we preach. So I thought it was just really powerful weekend to connect dots for people and kind of wrap up this entire sermon or chapter, as you said, chapter 6 around. Jesus started talking to disciples. He then starts talking to everybody. And he says, all of you are hearing it. And the difference is who does it and who doesn't. That's what makes the difference. Like that's who actually, the end of the day, that's what kind of, so I thought Kenny did a really good job of kind of wrapping up this chapter, the Sermon on the Plain.
Yeah. No, I think, I always think the people who come up and spend some time sharing the message for the Sunday, I think we've got a pretty good team, but I always think Ken does a great job, but this week especially, his sermon just really, I don't know if it just communicated more clearly to me than it does sometimes. Not that it doesn't communicate clearly, but it really was like this one really hit. And so I think Ken did a really great job. And one of the things that I chuckled at the first time I heard it was, it talks about the one who doesn't build the foundation. And you always think, like all of us, we'd be like, of course you would build a foundation. Yeah. Of course, like who wouldn't build the foundation for their house? And then Ken laid out why you would be inclined not to. And it takes work. Yeah. It's going to take more money. It's going to take more time. You could throw up a house without a foundation and it's going to be done. I don't know. I don't build houses, but I'm sure a whole lot quicker than taking the time and work. And I was like, man, that is like, we hear that and go, oh, I would never not build my house with a foundation. But then you look at all the temptations of why we wouldn't want to put in the work ahead of time. And it becomes very clear how often we all do that. Yeah. How often we will cut the corners, take the shortcut, just do the thing to try to get it done because we know, okay, I should be doing this. So I'm going to make it the most quick and easy I can. And then to your point, Josh, like that is when, like, there are more stories, there are more people that come into our offices that I would say, unfortunately, when that storm does come, the house isn't still standing at the end of it. Yeah. And it just was that reminder of how important it is to be putting in the extra work when it doesn't feel necessary even. Like we say that all the time about getting connected with other people. Yep. Like you need relationships. Like maybe you don't need relationships now, but you got to invest in that so you have those relationships when you do need them.
Absolutely.
And so, I just think he laid it out really well, putting those two different camps in there for us. I walked away being like, all right, I do this more than I think I do.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Again, his analogy was so great. As a parent, I get it. Oh, yeah. No, I talked about it. I thought about it. I'm actually going to then get together with my friends and talk about what would it look like if I actually did this. Mm-hmm. My room would look amazing, but I ain't done nothing. Yep. Like, that's the piece of this is we as believers do that all the time. We talk a whole lot about information and theology. Like, we just spend all the time, and I'm not saying that's not important. Yeah. But at the end of the day, what Jesus is saying is just like, you got to do these things. Like, okay, now you know, you hear, and the difference is put in the work. Yeah. Do this thing, right? Like that's the response to a believer. But as church people, we are so good at, man, it's really good. Man, it was so good. I mean, we probably, again, are doing that today. We did it yesterday, but people sat about how good that sermon was and all these things. And it's like, okay, great. Are we like really looking at, man, which camp am I in? Mm-hmm. You know? I'm not going to give the analogy of what camp though, because it made me think of Disney, and I don't want to say it. I don't want everybody thinking of Disney and Camp Rock. But
all morning,
I thought of Camp Rock.
I was so confused when it came through on the because I didn't get to listen until the 11:15.
Oh,
and so I'm seeing it in the staff chat of like this camp. I'm like, what are we talking about? Camp Rock?
I don't even watch it, and I was like, Kenny, Camp Rock. Yep. But anyways, again, hopefully people are leaving going, okay, man, which one am I in? I love it. If you're in it, stay in it.
Yeah,
simple. Stay in it. How do you stay in it? Keep doing the thing, and help others get to it.
Yep.
Like that, again, which is perfect, Kenny. And if you're not in it, well, you still got breath in your lungs.
Yeah,
like it's not over.
Yeah,
but that was that last story. There still is possibility. Jesus does. I think he is referencing what would be eternal destruction. And if you're still hearing, you still got a chance. So.
Yeah, I think the hard thing too is just the world telling us that, oh, you got time. You can build a foundation when you're retired. You can, and that's none of that's guaranteed for anybody.
No,
and I think that's where we get caught with the vulnerability of our faith is, well, if like I don't really need the full foundation. Like I'm gonna this little pad is gonna be what I build off of. And then we allow years and years and years to go by. And then once that storm does hit, that's when we look back and we're like, oh, I was not prepared for this. I thought I would have more time. And that's what really broke my heart of just hearing these stories and hearing some of these things of just like, we in America are so blessed to be as safe as we are that I feel like a lot of us are walking with the book that we know we're supposed to live our lives with, and we're going, one day we will go back to that.
Yeah. Or we trick ourselves into thinking that we can like repair the house in the middle of the storm. Like, well, once this happens, I know what I should do and where I should go. But it's like, that's just not the real, once that storm has hit, you might know what to do, but your chances of actually sticking with it is going to be a whole lot lower if you haven't cemented that ahead of time.
Yeah, and that's why the stories are so important, because I got to hear from other people and be reminded that these stories come and they come out of the blue. Yeah, they're unexpected. Obviously, our family got to spend some time in Louisiana, and obviously those of you who know like Louisiana history, the thing everybody knows is Hurricane Katrina. Mm-hmm. And obviously, it was a full system break. Yeah, everything fell apart. Levees, and everyone thought who stayed will be fine. The storm won't actually be that bad. Mm-hmm. And then we see all the pictures afterwards of people sitting on the roof begging for them to be rescued. And some get rescued and some don't. To your point, it ain't gonna be that bad this time. I'll be fine. Yeah, right. So it's interesting. When we moved there, we didn't live there during Katrina. We moved after, and we get there in July. Hurricane seasons happens in the fall. Trying to just get connected and serve and plug in, and the Red Cross is a great way to just meet people and serve, right? I'm just like, hey, I'm trying to call people in the community to serve. I should probably be doing that too. And so I serve with the hurricane relief, essentially. And there was a hurricane that was happening in South Louisiana, and people drove up from New Orleans. And all of these people, I'm like, just chatting with them because it's just hanging out, drinking coffee, right? That's all you're doing. And I'm just chatting with them. And most of them did not leave last time when they were warned. Mm-hmm. And they talk about never again will we do that. Yeah. Now we're prepared for this storm. And they did the work, right? And they realized, and they weren't going to take that chance again. But you only get that like the after, right? Yeah. And so the stories of other people are the after. Like they can tell me, and hopefully I'm hearing going, oh man, I see how valuable it was to put the work in, to do the thing, so that when the storm comes, because it's going to come for all of us in some way, my faith is still standing again. And I would bet if you asked all those people that Kenny talked about, they probably felt like their faith in different seasons of those was tattered and just like small and what felt probably insignificant, but it was who their faith was in, right? That it was in Christ, and they built on him and his work, and they became the people that they needed to be when they got there. right? To your point, you can't repair. Like when that flood's coming in and they couldn't repair the house, man. There's nothing you can do with 12-foot waters.
Nope.
Their houses are destroyed. Still, when you go down into New Orleans, there's still streets, man. They got access on that. They're never going to rebuild those things. It just destroyed everything. Like that's the picture that always comes in my mind when I think about this text in the storm. I've seen people's lives. Like, and they talk about like, yeah, man, our whole family was displaced and everything changed, and we weren't ready.
Yeah,
we never thought it would be this bad, right? And that's what we all think. And so it's just interesting how when you think through that way, to your point, is we kind of walk around convincing ourselves, it ain't never gonna be. It's never gonna be that bad.
Yeah,
it's never gonna be like full destruction.
Yeah,
like I'll be fine, or I'm pretty good. I'll fix it when we get there. Until you can't.
Yep.
And then nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And then, so many people, unfortunately, suffering comes, and it's usually an opportunity to walk away from the faith.
Yep.
Unfortunately. For more people than we'd like to, to see.
Yeah.
And I think, too, I think of some of the people that I went to high school with, some of the people that I went even college with. Like one of my really close friends from college was wanting to be a youth pastor. Like that's what he was going to college for, and now I don't even know where he's at in his faith at all. Yep. And it's the reminder too, I think, of like helping your children to build this foundation as well. Like, I mean, obviously, like we as parents, we are the primary influence in helping to build that foundation. Now, sometimes kids are just, I only have a 3-year-old as my oldest. So, but I know kids can obviously make their own decisions at a certain point. But I just look back at people who I never would have thought would have walked away from Jesus, and they didn't even get the Hurricane Katrina. It's like sometimes even just the gusts of wind and just some of the low seasons of life. And I look back at it and go, man, I never would have thought that you would have walked away from it. Yeah. But that foundation just wasn't, I guess it just wasn't as strong as we'd hope. And not that they don't have a chance still, of course, like we heard yesterday. But yeah.
And I think that's exactly why it's on our heart for these discipleship groups.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it allows us to be the inspectors of each other's homes. When you go buy a new house, hopefully everybody's having that inspector going.
Bro, you wave that stuff when you move to Prescott because you're just trying to get a house. Yeah, craziness.
But that's what we're called to do in each other's lives, of just like just pointing out the flaws, and love just the way it ends for 6 is pointing towards the house. And I think that's exactly why we push discipleship groups so much, because it allows us to be in each other's lives to where we can see exactly where the cracks are, or exactly how strong that foundation is, so that we can help before that storm completely wipes out.
For sure. Absolutely.